evening and welcome to Massey United Insurance's Line and Length, and of course all our viewers on Digicel, Sportsmax and Scene TV in North America. On tonight's show, the old pro Franklin Stevenson weighs in on West Indies cricket, plus a former vice president of the Barbados Cricket Association, Keith Simmons, talks, as well as coach Richard Clark. All tonight on Massey United Insurance's Line and Length.
Across the Caribbean, more people are placing their trust in Massey United Insurance for the protection of the things that are important to them, their homes, businesses, and their prized possessions. That's because Massey United Insurance offers excellent general insurance coverage to help you manage whatever life sends your way. Our cadre of well-reputed agencies and trained insurance professionals are always ready to provide you with sound advice and prompt service. Choose the security and sound strength that is Massey United Insurance.
I live cool, I live fresh, I live life without the stress. Every day I feel my best, I live cool with Lima Call. Feel the energy, feel the breeze, I feel like doing as I please. Relaxation comes with these, I live cool with Lima Call.
Live cool with Lima Call and feel the freshness of a breeze in a bottle. Lima Call is trusted the world over and gives that easy, breezy Caribbean feel to all.
Every day I feel my best, I live cool with Lima Call.
Welcome back to Massey United Insurance's Line and Length, and as promised, Franklin Stevenson, the old pro, is here with us at the Passage Road ground. And Franklin Stevenson is a man who's played all over the world. The West Indies team is headed to South Africa, hopefully the best team, they say, but contracts with no money in them. Surprising. Frankie, what's going on in West Indies cricket?
Oh my goodness, Andrew, it's a muddied pool at the moment, muddied pool. What a tangled web we weave. I'm really appalled. I think that all our history is on the line at the moment. We've had so much pride in this game, and I think some egos have come to the fore that really makes us struggle. We're on our knees begging that, oh please, we can't afford this, we can't afford that. Where's the pride? And we're here watching some youngsters play today. This is my passion right now. These kids, and I know we got to get them early, and I'm seeing some awesome talent here, and that's where it's at. But right now, the game today, too dark and muddy.
Where did it all go wrong, Franklin? Where did it all go wrong? The Indian tour, the players came back. It's India, $42 million. The West Indies board, are we sending the best team? Are we sending a second string team? Are we communicating with the players? WIPA? Wrap it all up.
I don't know. Our best team is going to be even young men in good, not only physical but mental condition. For what's going on right now, I'm not even sure that the players are even focused on the game at hand. When you're going to go to take on a tour, it's a plan that you're putting in place, and doesn't start when you're on a plane or
on the field and you get there.
Absolutely. You're going to be planning these things and really sharpen up your technique to suit what you're going to be coming up against and so on. And we're not getting that to happen right now in the Caribbean at all. I really think there's one train of thought that yes, India, go ahead and sue us, make us bankrupt or whatever, and hopefully we can get some of these arrogant people out of the way and bring cricket back to the fore. But that's where it needs to be. I don't know how it's going to happen because the best advice is always out there, but who's the one to go and take it or actually put it in place? And every time you walk around, you hear some very good points being made, good views, but then when it comes to these board meetings and even the process of putting people in place, how could you have people in place of West Indies cricket that are only interested in themselves? Because there's no way that you can be making decisions. The team is in trouble, whether it was mental or whatever, and the players are threatening to boycott the tour, and nobody goes to actually talk to the players. So of course the Indian board is going to be feeling peeved that they're the ones who are actually negotiating with the players, West Indies players, to get them on the park. And then up comes the West Indies board with a decision then that they're going to pull out of the tour. Or they're going to send another team. I think that it was respect for the players that the Indian board refused another team to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got to be able to look after our own affairs a lot better than that.
Well, it's a mouthful you just said, Franklin. You were involved at the level of playing cricket provincially in South Africa, and we always hear about all the trouble there was in terms of the black-white scenario, but the system eventually changed. How did that system change?
That system had a catalyst for change. In 1983, a team was blacklisted from cricket for the rest of their lives, predominantly, and I was a part of that team. And things that we saw that happened on that tour, nobody seemed interested in it then. CNN came down and they did a 30 years on. I had to tell them that they weren't doing a follow-up. I explained to them that they were actually doing the story because the story was never told here in the Caribbean. But it's an awesome story of people just loving what they saw. You had the South African captain appealing to the press. He said, "This is crazy. My team, the South African team, from the South African captain's perspective, he had no support for his team on his field of play. It was their field in apartheid time. Could you imagine it? But our people weren't allowed to hear that because it was too positive. Even though we had a reporter from these shores go to South Africa, even he wasn't allowed to tell his story, you know. So, but this change started a long time ago. And if you saw what was happening even in 1992, they didn't have enough coaches. Every school, every youngster, every mother was under pressure to bowl in the garden to her son because cricket was just taking over, you know. And at their games, the leading game in South Africa really was tug of war. After tug of war, it's rugby. Right? And then cricket was following a close fourth, I think, behind, if you talk with the masses, football, because the majority of the black nations played a lot of football. But the catalyst for cricket, what happened during that tour and after, and then the resurgence of South Africa back into international cricket, cricket took over. And I mean, I expected them a long time ago to actually ascend to the top because the passion that they had, you know, they took it straight into cricket. And, you know, when the West Indies went there, and I think it was 98, again, a total travesty. Such an important tour, no way they could be prepared because they ended up in England again, quarreling about money and so on. So these are things that they didn't just start, but we're doing nothing at all to sort them out. We would have thought we had so many cricketers, Andrew. How many cricketers are on the board making these big decisions? No, we got politicians on the West Indies board. We got lawyers and accountants, but still we can't get contracts organized, basic contracts that should be in place long before you come into play for the West Indies. This is the basic contract right here. No.
So Franklin, do we need a revolution?
We need a revolution in cricket. You know, it's so dark, but how come there's no offer of resignations for the travesty that's gone to West Indies cricket just now? Where's the pride?
On either side, you want to say?
On either side, but especially the board. There's no resignation in there. You're crazy. It's wrong. Step down. You have just put the West Indies cricket back into the dark ages. What? And somebody says, "Some executive president." Where's that come from? We're back into the dictatorship now. No, we need a revolution that brings cricket back to the fore, right? And it's not too difficult. Look out here and see love for the game of cricket, right? This is love for cricket. That's what we're after, right?
That's Franklin Stevenson. He's going to come back shortly, and we're going to talk about the future, his plans for the youth in Barbados.
Across the Caribbean, more people are placing their trust in Massey United Insurance for the protection of the things that are important to them, their homes, businesses, and their prized possessions. That's because Massey United Insurance offers excellent general insurance coverage to help you manage whatever life sends your way. Our cadre of well-reputed agencies and trained insurance professionals are always ready to provide you with sound advice and prompt service. Choose the security and sound strength that is Massey United Insurance.
I live cool, I live fresh, I live life without the stress. Every day I feel my best, I live cool with Lima Call. Feel the energy, feel the breeze, I feel like doing as I please. Relaxation comes with these, I live cool with Lima Call.
Live cool with Limacol and feel the freshness of a breeze in a bottle. Limacol is trusted the world over and gives that easy, breezy Caribbean feel to all.
Every day I feel my best, I live cool with Limacol.
Welcome back to Massey United Insurance's Line and Line. With us here at the Passage Road ground in Barbados, it's Keith Simmons, former Vice President of the Barbados Cricket Association, and himself an attorney at law. Keith, your take on what's going on in West Indies cricket at the moment? There's so much going on. Your take?
Absolute confusion. It is unbelievable that we have reached this stage in cricket. The players need to be disciplined. The board seems not to understand what is going on. If I'm correct, there's supposed to be a contract. Well, contract is supposed to be between two people. And Ralph Thorne, an attorney at law, is there. He's looking after the interests of the players, and I am sure that he will do what is right. A contract must be between two people. and money must be involved, consideration as they call it. So I cannot understand how people can leave and go on tour and, well, I don't know if there's a contract, but Ralph is there and he'll make sure there is a contract. But this group, including the executive, is really embarrassing all West Indians, whether you like cricket or do not like cricket. There's absolute confusion.
Keith, having been involved in administration yourself, I'm sure you have some views as to how we can take the process forward. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has indicated that he has a grand plan. What do you think of the plan he's put forward, and what are some of your thoughts going forward?
I could understand what he has said irrespective of people being selected for the tour, but most West Indians will want to know how we are going to come by the money. And I believe that the players themselves should be made to contribute some of the money. If you give me a truck to drive, and I as driver were to hit this truck, I am responsible for the accident, and therefore I must be part of any action that is brought against you, the truck owner. So I don't understand what is happening. We are not getting all the facts or enough details to come to any sensible conclusion as to what's happening.
So you depart somewhat from Ralph Thorne, who suggests that the players have no blame in this matter at all.
99% of the Barbadian public, West Indian public, would say that the players are involved. But Ralph is a lawyer, and he represented them, so I don't blame him one way or the other. But they were out there. I cannot understand how a player could determine a contract or interpret a contract. If you want a house built, you ask a carpenter. If there's a contract, you must ask a lawyer. So for the captain to write somebody suggesting something does not make sense to me. And we are in serious trouble as far as cricket is concerned in the West Indies. Very serious trouble. How we can get out of it, I really just don't know.
There's the thoughts there of Keith Simmons, some very strident thoughts there as you're watching Massey United Insurance's Line and Length. And joining us now on Massey United Insurance's Line and Length is long-standing coach Richard Clark. Richard, your thoughts on West Indies cricket at the moment?
Well, it's in a crisis, and I've always been saying that we started paying without production, and I keep ringing that bell in many of my fans' ears that the West Indies players, they need to produce in order to gain, let me say, dollars and cents. Because if you notice now, we started paying, as I said before, without production, and it's coming back now to haunt us.
Well, certainly, I mean, the latest scenario I'm sure you're aware of is that the players have been selected once again to go to South Africa, the best team, as they would say. But apparently there is some confusion over the contracts because there are no fees written into the contracts. And it's said that the fees now have to be renegotiated or to be negotiated.
I'm very concerned about that. We can't go into a tournament without negotiations in terms of contracts. And that has to be put in place before we even think about touring. So it has to be done urgent.
But what else can we do overall, generally? Because we talk a lot about this being the best team, but this best team still only allows us to be ranked at number 8 in basically all forms of international cricket.
Remember I said before, we started paying without production, and like I said, it's coming back to haunt us. These guys are not playing from their heart. The passion is lacking. Only on Tuesday I was listening to Frankie Stevenson and Collis King, and they were talking about how they played with passion, more so than thinking about, making money. And that's what is lacking in our cricket. We need to play with passion and understand that we're representing over 6 million people in the West Indies.
Across the Caribbean, more people are placing their trust in Massey United Insurance for the protection of the things that are important to them, their homes, businesses, and their prized possessions. That's because Massey United Insurance offers excellent general insurance coverage to help you manage whatever life sends your way. Our cadre of well-reputed agencies and trained insurance professionals are always ready to provide you with sound advice and prompt service. Choose the security and sound strength that is Massey United Insurance.
I live cool, I live fresh, I live life without the stress. Every day I feel my best, I live cool with Lima Call. Feel the energy, feel the breeze, I feel like doing as I please. Relaxation comes with these, I live cool with Lima Call.
Live cool with Limacol and feel the freshness of a breeze in a bottle. Limacol is trusted the world over and gives that easy, breezy Caribbean feel to all.
Every day I
And we're back on Massey United Insurance's Line and Life, and as promised, Franklin Stevenson will tell us all about his program, the Franklin Stevenson Academy, heading to the UK next year.
Yes, very excited about that. I mean, I said I've been a captain. I was captain of my school team up to age 14, but we never actually played a competitive game at school. And here we have a team of under 11s that are into a festival in England next year, playing against all the counties and minor counties. I think we've got teams from California and from the Emirates and so on. So it's very, very exciting. We're also taking it on the 16 team as well. Our touring party, probably looking like something like between 65 and 85 people at this time. A lot of excited parents as well. I know it's tough economic times, but you know, it's something that we really look forward to, and you know, I'll do my best really to make this a reality, but we're well on our way. We're into the Taunton Festival. The majority of the kids are actually playing here in this game for West Terrace, and that's the school really through the parents that took up the offer that we made a couple of years ago for primary schools come and practice free. You know, you can bring your coach, but we'll make the facility available, you know. And West Terrace was a school that really picked it up, and they've shown some very, very blessed dividends. You know, it's very exciting. So this is my passion right now.
Okay, tell us a bit about the Taunton Festival. How did you make contact with it? I know that you're a UK man, you played there several years. Tell us a bit about this festival and the type of what you expect to get from it.
Well, it's run by a guy called Malcolm Broad, MBE, and I met Malcolm here last year. He brought a couple of teams down, and they were playing against Barbados, but he was waiting for Barbados to confirm their participation in the under 14 segment. And I said, well, he said it's getting a little bit late, but they're already in the fixtures. I said, well, if Barbados doesn't make it, I can get a team together at short notice, because the majority of the guys that were actually playing for Barbados team out there, they will actually practice with me, I told him. But then about a month and a half later, he came back and said, well, Barbados has confirmed that they are coming, but we can place you in for next year. And so again, he was waiting for Barbados. He told me this year with the under 14s, but I said, well, if that's a problem, we can't wait too long, because we have to start fundraising and really do some serious work and planning. So if it's possible, he could actually put us into the under 11s. And he said that'll be fine. And when he came back and told me that the under 14s is available as well, it was a little bit late for us, I think. But because the under 14 festival is actually 2 weeks, ends 2 weeks before the on the 11th festival, so we will have to spend about 3.5 weeks in England, and I don't think anyone's willing to pay for that sort of time and so on. So we are still going to take the other team, but they're going to be playing friendly cricket, and it's very exciting. You know, I think that I was told about the festival to have on the 14s, on the 13s, on the 12s, on the 11s, very, very impressive that you can develop young sport like that. And I think that this region is some place that we can really look at things like that. You know, all you're doing really is inviting people to come in. It's tourism, and we have the weather pretty much all year round, and we have the kids that are so passionate about the game. Why can't we put those sort of things in place? But looking at our test team, I wouldn't expect that sort of organization to come through in any hurry.
Franklin, this is just the beginning, I imagine, of your foray into the UK for this festival type cricket.
Oh, definitely. I would think that if you can put the hard work in place to put the first tour on, I think that within the first tour we can set up almost anything as a lineage, you know. And with these kids, there's no way that we're gonna take them to the under 11s and then leave them standing there, you know. Or, you know, I think that this is the time to really train kids. I think when they get to 13, you know, things start to change in their bodies and their minds and their lives and so on, and it's a little bit tough then. So if you can really put the basics in place before that, that's what's necessary. It's not just about cricket. Cricket is a life tool, you know. It's a discipline that you can manage to any part of your life to come, and so that's why it's so important to spend time with these kids. And we've seen so much development; it's unreal, you know. So it's really exciting. You form some lovely bonds, you know. Yes, you're going to have some parents who show interest because their child is part of it, you know. But you can take that through to a lot of other areas and for a lot longer than they're planning on the offset, anyway.
You've been watching Massey United Insurance's Line and Line. Join us next week for more.